health, and wellness. In this lesson, you will identify food sources of nutrients and explain food allergies.
Tutorial contents: importance of a healthy diet, lesson activity, planning meals, lesson activity to create a meal plan for 1 week, food labels, lesson activity, reading the food label, and summary. So please note that this says create a meal plan for 1 week. I thought that would be a wonderful suggested CAP or creative arts project. So at the end of this lesson, I have included in the Google Classroom assignment a link to a Doc Hub where you can create a menu game plan. Enjoy and do it creatively. Do it creatively. Think about those things that you never have an opportunity to eat. Put those on the menu.
Sarah does not pay much attention to her diet. She skips meals often, tends to drink a lot of soda, and eats junk food quite frequently. She has recently been feeling tired and stressed, and has difficulty concentrating on academics. Her friend suggested that she change her diet, reduce her intake of junk food, and take up an activity she likes. A few weeks after taking her friend's advice, Sarah started feeling more energetic and less stressed. As we saw in Sarah's case, poor lifestyle habits can have negative effects on one's physical and mental health. Poor lifestyle habits can lead to weight gain, high blood pressure, diabetes, fatigue, and poor concentration. You can take simple steps to improve your lifestyle. Cut down on sugary drinks and junk foods. Eat more fresh fruits. Eat a nutritious breakfast every day. Don't skip meals. Skipping meals can leave you tired. Try to make changes gradually instead of trying to change overnight. In this lesson, you'll identify the components of a healthy diet and the food sources of important nutrients. You'll also explain food allergy and identify allergies and food intolerances. Then you'll recognize specific foods and diets for certain diseases, intolerances, and specific needs. In addition, you'll create a meal plan for a specific diet. You'll also identify foods that require a nutrition label and analyze food labels. Finally, you'll describe your district's wellness policy.
Importance of a healthy diet. The secret to a healthy and long life lies in your diet and lifestyle. Your diet should consist of foods that help you maintain a healthy weight and optimal health. A healthy diet can also prevent occurrences of disease. This involves eating a balanced diet that includes all required nutrients in the right quantities. These nutrients include carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, and water. You can get these nutrients from foods such as whole grains, vegetables, fruits, and low-fat dairy products. A diet that lacks any of the nutrients can increase your risk of health problems. Some of these include diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart disease. Poor diet can also cause lack of attention and sleep, restlessness, weakness, and fatigue. It also increases your vulnerability to infections and diseases. Making the right food choices. Basic nutritional information and dietary guidelines can help you put together a balanced diet for any age group. Your dietary requirements depend upon several factors. These include age, gender, height, weight, and level of physical activity. There's a website for some further information. Recommended by the U.S. government can help you make the right food choices. Dietary guidelines recommended by. Okay. The Department of Agriculture, aka the USDA, and the Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, update and issue the dietary guidelines. They do this once every 5 years. These guidelines are for individuals without any specific health condition and age 2 and over. Here are some guidelines to help you make the right choices. Eat healthy. Reduce fat, sugars, and salt. Be aware of your calorie intake. Here's a little chart about what your calorie intake might be. Oh, this website is currently not accessible. Be physically active. Hey, you have a PE assignment, don't you? And it gives a list of activities to help you burn calories. Importance of a healthy diet. To build up a healthy plate, select foods such as vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and lean protein. Added sugar and fats can increase unwanted calories in the body. Your calorie requirement will depend on your age, gender, height, weight, and physical activity. My plate guidelines. Notice the size of the portions as well as the color of the portions. My Plate Guidelines icon is a nutrition guide that uses a visual representation or a visual model of the dietary guidelines. The icon shows a place setting with a glass of a colorful plate divided with a glass and a colorful plate divided into 5 sections. Each section represents a food group. Fruits, vegetables, grains, proteins, and dairy products are the 5 food groups. These food groups are necessary for a balanced diet. By looking at the plate, you can tell that vegetables and fruits should make up half of the plate, with the vegetable portion being a little bigger. Grains and proteins should make up the other half, with more grains than proteins. The icon also reminds you to add dairy products to your diet. These include milk, cheese, and yogurt. Fats are also a necessary component of a healthy diet, but do not appear in the My Plate icon. The government issued the food icon because of growing concern about the rise of obesity in American adults and children. The government hopes that this icon will encourage people to plan a nutritious, balanced diet. The guidelines also provide general nutrition education, resources, and tools for dietary assessment. Following these guidelines can help you create a healthy diet plan for any age group. Planning meals. Planning meals. To ensure that your meals are healthy, you should carefully plan every meal. A nutritious breakfast can help you from overeating or snacking later in the day. To plan a nutritious meal for breakfast, remember the following. A good breakfast supplies about a quarter of the day's total nutritional needs. Choose healthy carbohydrates like oatmeal or cereal. Include fruit to get important nutrients like vitamin C and fiber. Fiber helps you feel full. Consider adding a small amount of a healthy fat. Peanut butter on a whole wheat toast or cream cheese on whole wheat bagel are healthy options. Serve a glass of milk with breakfast, especially for women, children, and adolescents. For lunch, lunch should supply about a third of the day's nutritional needs. For a nutritious lunch, use the following tactics. Serve a salad or other vegetables. Lunch can include casseroles or sandwiches. Lunch can utilize leftovers. For example, use leftover chicken breast for a chicken sandwich or make chicken soup. Include water or milk with your lunch. To plan a nutritious meal for dinner, choose lean proteins such as fish, meat, lean cuts, or vegetables. Opt for healthy cooking techniques like roasting or baking, grilling, broiling, or steaming to limit added fats. To plan a nutritious meal for dinner, choose lean proteins such as fish, meat, lean cuts, or vegetables. Did I already read this? To avoid added fats. Serve whole wheat or whole grain breads and pastas or brown rice to get more healthy carbohydrates and fiber. Choose healthy dessert options like fresh fruits and keep serving sizes moderate. Offer water or milk with dinner instead of sugary drinks like soda and juice. Limit fried foods. Use healthy fats such as olive oil when cooking instead of butter or lard. Lard. Snacks. Snacks are a part of a healthy diet. To make smart choices, use the following strategies. Fresh fruit, raw vegetables, and cheese sticks are nutritious options. Keep healthy options in your kitchen instead of junk food. Prepare healthy snacks ahead of time to make it easy when you are in a hurry. For example, wash and cut raw vegetables and place them in a to go container so they're ready to eat later. Parents or caregivers should not insist that children clean their plates if they are full during mealtime. They also should not use food as a reward for good behavior. Praise is better than candy. Regular meal times provide structure for healthy eating. When parents sit at a table and eat meals with family or friends, they have a chance to model good behaviors that help children eat healthier. When children are involved in the planning and cooking of meals, they are more willing to try what they help make. Diets for specific needs. Several factors affect people's dietary choices. Some of these factors are cultural background, clinical need or disease, age, and allergies, pregnancy, growth spurts, and desire to lose or gain weight also require specific diets. It is important to follow a nutritious and well balanced diet during pregnancy for the health of the fetus. The diet should contain adequate amounts of omega 3 fatty acids, vitamin D, iron, folic acid, proteins. For example, essential omega 3 fatty acids boost brain development and vision. Breastfeeding mothers need extra calories to maintain adequate energy. That's why they say they're eating for two. That's what they mean. Aging requires proper nutrition to contribute to a higher quality of life. Some older adults may be more prone to dehydration due to poor regulation of fluids. Taking a multivitamin may be necessary if appetite is poor. Fiber rich foods regularize bowel movements. Fiber rich foods regularize bowel movements. Make it regular. Whew, what a spot to get stuck on. Low cholesterol and lower blood glucose levels. Fiber also lowers the risk of cardiovascular diseases and cancers. While planning a diet for older people, consider medication use, chewing or swallowing problems, weakness, metabolism, and mental health status. Injury recovery requires proper nutrition. Eat adequate calories by consuming regular meals and 1 to 3 snacks daily. Proteins contain amino acids, particularly leucine, which can help build up protein stores to help recover from injury. Eat foods such as low fat dairy, soy, eggs, seafood, chicken, pork, and lean beef. You should consume 60 to 90 grams daily depending on age, weight, height, and activity. Omega 3 fatty acids help suppress inflammation when injury occurs, which helps with the healing process. Consume 2 or more weekly of seafood such as salmon or tuna. Alternatively, add walnuts, flaxseed, chia seed, or healthy oils to smoothies. Choose eggs enriched with omega 3 or a high quality omega 3 supplement. Vitamin D plays a major role in rebuilding bone after a fracture. Since this particular hormone can drop during colder months, it is imperative to take a vitamin D supplement or eat more vitamin D rich foods, such as canned salmon or fortified milk. Let's look at diets for specific diseases. Heart disease. Consume a plant based or Mediterranean diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, and nuts. Replace butter with healthy fats such as olive oil. Use herbs and spices rather than salt. Limit red meats. Cancer. To reduce cancer risk, maintain a healthy weight. Avoid junk food, eat plenty of fruits and vegetables, and limit alcohol use. Diabetes. Eat a diet in which carbohydrates make up about 45 to 65% of total calories, with at least half of your grains being whole grain. Limit intake or added or refined sugars from food and beverages. Fiber-rich foods play a major role in blood sugar control. Celiac disease. Consume a diet free of gluten. Cystic fibrosis. Consume a diet higher in calories. Eat foods rich in calcium. Increases absorption. Essential fatty acids, fat-soluble vitamins, and zinc, immune function, growth, and healing. Iron prevents fatigue and resistance to infection. And salt helps replace salt loss. Lactose intolerance. Eat limited dairy or completely avoid dairy, depending on the severity. Since dairy is rich in calcium, aim to consume other calcium-rich foods. Eat broccoli, calcium-fortified products, such as breads and juices, canned salmon, milk substitutes, oranges, pinto beans, rhubarb, and spinach. Include adequate vitamin D to help with calcium absorption. Osteoporosis. Include nutrients such as calcium, vitamin C, D, and K, and magnesium. Special diets. People may follow a restricted diet for religious reasons. Many people are vegetarians for cultural, emotional, economical, religious, personal, or health-related reasons. Vegetarian diets limit or eliminate animals from the diet. For example, lacto-ovo vegetarians do not eat meats. However, they eat dairy products and eggs. Ovo vegetarians do not eat dairy products or meat. However, they eat eggs. Vegans exclude dairy products, eggs, and meat from their diet. Vegetarians need to ensure that they get adequate nutrients. They should include adequate amounts of plant-based foods in their diet. Protein, whole grains, legumes, vegetables like peas, seeds, and nuts. Texture vegetables, proteins, and meat analogs or analogous. Tofu or tempeh. Tempeh? I don't know. Sorry, not sure. Vegan protein powders. Omega-3 fatty acids like enriched eggs or flaxseed, walnuts, canola oil, soy, chia seed, chia, and supplements. Calcium, greens, broccoli, bok choy, kale, tofu, calcium-fortified orange juice, vitamin D, sunlight, fortified milk, supplements, vitamin B12, fortified soy milk, yeast, supplements, iron, dark green leafy vegetables, dried fruits, increase absorption by eating foods high in vitamin C. Zinc, soy products, legumes, grains, cheese, nuts. Other special diets may be warranted for the following: substance abuse, weight loss or weight gain, and anemia. This food is gluten-free, dairy-free, shellfish-free, wheat-free, nut-free, egg-free, lactose-free, sugar-free, additive-free, vegetarian, vegan, and flavor free. That's just my opinion. I was teasing. Food allergies. Having a food allergy is a serious medical condition that affects your body's immune system. Food allergies affect up to 15 million people in the United States. This includes 1 in 13 children. The body's immune system works to identify and destroy bacteria and viruses that can make you sick. A food allergy leads your immune system to mistakenly attack a harmless food. Seeing it as a threat, the body releases an antibody called immunoglobulin E. This antibody fights the food protein, releasing histamine and other chemicals. This leads to symptoms like swelling and a rash. Any food is capable of causing an allergic reaction. However, 8 foods account for 90% of all food allergic reactions in the United States. The most common allergies or food sensitivities are peanut, soy, wheat, shellfish, fish, milk, eggs, and tree nuts. There is no known cure for allergies. Food intolerance is a negative reaction to food substances that does not involve the immune system. The symptoms may mimic allergy symptoms. Celiac disease is a hereditary autoimmune disease in which ingestion of gluten, a type of protein, causes the immune system to react abnormally. It affects the small intestine and is a lifelong disease and can even be fatal. Those affected must avoid foods with gluten, such as foods made from wheat, rye, or barley. Wheat allergies involve the body's response to proteins in wheat by producing antibodies. People with a wheat allergy can usually eat other grains. Most children seem to outgrow their wheat allergies over time. A negative reaction to food is a food intolerance. An autoimmune disease, for example, would be celiac disease. Food allergies affect the immune system. All right, for this health and wellness tutorial creative arts project, the suggestion is that you create a meal plan for 1 week for any one type of specific diet. Plan meals considering nutritional balance, appeal, and suitability to various individual and family circumstances. But ultimately, make it creative. If you want to have a lobster bisque, or if you want to have a escargot benedict, or a quiche with caviar, do it. Have fun. Be creative. Food labels. Food labels. Food labels help consumers in diet planning and making healthy choices. They provide information about nutrients in a food. The FDA, Food and Drug Administration, regulates the labeling of all foods except meat and poultry. The USDA regulates the labeling of meat and poultry. So the FDA does food and drug. The USDA regulates the labeling of meat and poultry. The Nutrition Labeling and Education Act gave the FDA authority to require nutrition labeling of most foods. In addition, the FDA regulates nutrient and health claims. Vegetables and raw fruits are not required to carry individual labels. In addition, fish, meat, and poultry do not have food labels. However, the FDA has asked markets to provide this information voluntarily. The food label contains the name of the product, net weight, list of ingredients, and food allergy information. The list of ingredients must be in descending order by weight. This means that the ingredient that weighs the most is the first ingredient on the list. So if it says apple juice on the front, but on the label it says water, apple juice, then you know that there's more water in it than apple juice. The ingredient that weighs the least is at the bottom of the ingredient list. Food additives and flavors must also be included in the ingredients list. The name and address of the company and nutrition facts panel must also be included on the food label. The food label refers to the entire label. The nutrition facts label is contained on the food label. It provides information about the number of servings, serving size, and nutrient content. Last week, the Suggestion Creative Arts project was to compare two nutrition labels. The Food Additives Amendment requires the FDA to approve substances intentionally added to food. These are also known as food additives. Some substances are generally recognized as safe, GRAS. GRAS substances do not require pre-approval. These items include spices, natural flavorings, and seasonings. As mentioned previous, the nutrition facts label is required for most food and food products. Some exceptions are fresh meats, fruits, and vegetables. The nutrition fact label must contain serving size and the number of servings per container, percent of daily values, the amount of grams of calories from fat, cholesterol, sodium, total carbohydrates, dietary fiber, sugar, added sugar, protein, vitamin D, vitamin C, calcium, and iron. A statement that daily values are based on a 2,000 calorie intake. The FDA allows food labels to round numbers. For example, if a food product contains 0.49 grams of trans fat per serving, then the label may list it as 0 grams of trans fat. Likewise, if a food product contains 0.6 grams of trans fat, 0.5 grams can go on the label. Instead, look for hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated on the ingredients list to determine if the food contains trans fat. In addition to the required nutrition information, food labels often advertise specific characteristics of a product that may interest the consumer. For example, a package may say low in calories or high in fiber. Nutrient content claims, usually referring to calories or nutrients such as fat, saturated fat, cholesterol, sodium, and sugar, may say free, low, and light. However, these have specific definitions established by the FDA. For example, for meat, poultry, or seafood to be lean, it must contain less than 10 grams of fat, less than 4 grams of saturated fat, and less than 95 milligrams of cholesterol per serving. Let's examine some of these claims. Free. The product must contain no amount or only a trivial amount of a particular nutrient. Low in. A person can eat the food frequently without exceeding the recommended amounts of the nutrient. Low in fat means that one serving of a food has less than 3 grams of fat. Reduced, less, or fewer. The food contains at least 25% less of a nutrient compared with the original food. Nutritionally altered food refers to reduced. And we can figure out if it's 25% less by going to calculatorsoup.com and utilizing their calculators to find out. Do the math. Good source of. One serving of the food contains 10 to 19% of the daily recommended value for a particular nutrient. Now, just as a side note, on the side of this carton, it has these ingredients here, but let's say it got torn or marked on or scratched and you can't read it. There's a barcode right here. You can find apps such as MyFitnessPal, which I think is sponsored by Hurley, the brand Hurley. Anyways, you can actually use your phone's camera to scan the barcode, and most foods will actually pop up in the app with their nutritional information and all of that. It's good for people like type 1 diabetics who have to record the amount of carbohydrates that they use. And if the label is scratched or torn, they can get the same information from the barcode. Here are some more nutritional claims. Organic. For a food to use a label of organic, 95% of the ingredients should be organic according to USDA standards. Natural. The food must not contain added color, artificial flavors, or synthetic substances. High source of fiber. It meets at least 20% of your daily fiber requirement. Juice. It must be 100% juice. Fruit drinks or fruit beverages may contain less than 10% fruit juice. So to call it juice, it has to be 100% juice. But if it says it's a apple fruit drink or a fruit beverage, then it can be less. More fortified or enriched. These products must contain a nutrient that is 10% higher than the daily value in the reference value per serving. In selecting a product label with a descriptor such as fat-free, people know that the food meets the defined criteria. In this case, that product contains less than 0.5 grams of fat per serving. Health claims describe the relationship of a nutrient or substance to a disease or health condition. Food companies use health claims on food and products. Food products. However, these health claims cannot be misleading. They also cannot appear on foods that provide more than 20% of the daily value for fat, saturated fat, cholesterol, or sodium. An example of an appropriate health claim is foods high in fiber and soluble fiber may reduce the risk of heart disease. Sell by October 14th. There are also definitions regarding the dates on food and food products. The sell-by date indicates the last day the product should remain on the store shelf. This allows a reasonable amount of time for home storage after purchasing. The use-by date. The use-by date indicates how long the product will retain its maximum quality and flavor. The product may still be safe to eat after the date has passed. Open dating informs the consumer how long a product can remain wholesome and safe. There's also sometimes a use by or freeze by, knowing that if you freeze it, that date is extended. Food companies must also report major food allergens. The Food Allergen Labeling and Consumer Protection Act of 2004 requires that food labels identify whether a food product contains milk, eggs, or fish. The food label must also identify major food allergens. These include shellfish, tree nuts, peanuts, wheat, and soybeans. This amendment helps protect consumers from sickness and health, which is interesting when you buy a can of peanuts and it says may contain nuts. But they're just looking out, doing what they have to do. Which statements are true regarding food labels? A food label must mention the serving size. A food label must mention food colors. All right, they don't have to list every nutrient. They Don't have to mention the exact weight. It can round numbers. And organic indicates 95%. We learned that in the lesson. All right, reading the food label. So in order to read a food label, you need to know what is the serving size. So this one says 1 cup. How many servings in the container? So it says servings per container, 2. Now, it is kind of frustrating when the serving size is 1 cup and it's a dry thing like rice. And is that 1 cup cooked or 1 cup dry? So sometimes it will say both. And sometimes it'll even add a section with like cereal without milk and with milk, or 1 serving side or as prepared. So those are little tricks you got to look out for. How much protein is in 1 serving? So we look at protein, 5 grams. How much saturated fat is in 1 serving? So we're looking for saturated fat. Says less than 20 grams. Oh, sorry, I read that wrong. Saturated fat, 5 grams. Yep, 5 grams. There we go. And how much saturated fat is in 1 serving? 5 grams. What percentage of sodium does this food have? So we find sodium, and it says 28% of the daily value. Not 28% of the food is sodium. And what percentage of vitamin A? So we have our vitamin A is 4%, and then there's the other vitamins as well. How many calories from fat? So total fat less than 65 grams, 80 grams. So calories 280, calories from fat 120. So it can be confusing when you're looking at calories from fat, and that kind of stuff. So, and calories per gram. So 120 calories from fat. Does this food have fiber? If so, how much? So fiber, 25 grams out of a 30-gram daily allowance, I believe. All right, that's it. Okay, next. We're almost done, yay. All right, summary, and the living's easy. Whoops. Oh. I don't think I knew that you could download these videos.
In this lesson, you learned the importance of a healthy, balanced diet. It ensures healthy weight, promotes good health, and helps prevent occurrence of diseases. You also learned about guidelines that can help you make better food choices. The U.S. government uses the My Plate icon to remind you of the 5 food groups that you must include in your daily diet to stay healthy. Then you learned how to plan for the different meals of the day. You also learned how to prepare meals for specific needs and diseases. A food allergy is a medical condition that affects your body's immune system. Food intolerance is a negative reaction to a food substance that does not involve the immune system. The symptoms may mimic allergy symptoms. Finally, you learned that the Nutrition Facts label provides reference values for daily nutrient needs. Food labels must contain the name of the product, net weight, name and address of the company, list of ingredients, allergy information, and Nutrition Facts panel. Nutrition Facts labels are required to list the serving size, number of servings per container, percent of daily value of fat, cholesterol, sodium, total carbohydrate, including dietary fiber, sugar, and added sugar, protein, vitamins D and C, calcium, and iron, and a statement that the daily values reflect a 2,000 calorie intake.
All right, we have successfully completed the health and wellness tutorial portion of our Culinary Creative Arts Day. So just so you know, as far as the Creative Arts project go, there is a link in the assignment. It is in, oh, nope, that's the test. Oh my God. Anywho, it's in the assignment and it brings you to your create a grocery game plan weekly calendar. So if you want to use this for your creative arts project, you can simply fill in these. Remember, be creative. I don't want to see Taco Tuesday on there. Come on, try something new. All right. Good luck. Have fun.